Hi, my name is Damiano and this is Bellini Café. Today we have a very special guest star. She's a British cellist and she's played with the most prestigious orchestras all over the world. And she has played here in Catania, Bellini Theatre, with the orchestra of our Conservatory. Ladies and gentlemen, Natalie Clein.
Thank you. It's really nice to be here. It's amazing.
Thank you. So you have played Elgar's cello concerto, and we can say that this piece is your forte. Why do you appreciate so much this masterpiece? What are the most interesting features in your opinion?
Well, it's a piece I grew up with because being British, it was the most famous cello concerto in a way, even more famous than Dvorak. Maybe that's just peculiar to England in that way. But from when I was very young, I found the beauty not only in the way he had written for the cello, but the sadness and the longing and the yearning that is written all over this piece. I find really moving, and I found it beautiful when I was 12, and I still find it beautiful now. Each year that goes by, I find more and more detail and kind of tragedy or memory of beauty, and I think it's very heartfelt. It's such an authentic piece, and you know, it's kind of amazing in a way that it's one of the very last pieces he wrote, although he lived another 20 years afterwards. So it's as though he'd almost said everything he wanted to say, or couldn't write anymore, went into a kind of depression.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. It's a very amazing masterpiece for orchestra and for the cello itself. You, as a soloist, world-famous soloist, you get to travel a lot. Is there any special place that holds like a special place in your heart?
Yes, Catania.
Really?
Well, no, but I mean, it's really such a privilege to be here. I have to say, I've enjoyed working with you guys, with the orchestra, so much, and also just being in this beautiful city. And I live in Berlin now, and I left a kind of cold, rainy German city, and then I come to this bright sunshine with incredible food and warmth of the people, and that's really where I feel so grateful for the job I have, that I bring my musical ideas and they bring theirs, and we come together in a place like here. So I just feel very privileged every time I'm able to travel somewhere and especially work with the musicians that are there. That's my favorite thing. So it's not just one place.
This makes us so proud. And talking about Sicily, previously on Bellini Café, we have talked about the work of Giovanni Sollima, whose work is a staple in the repertoire for cello. I would like to know your views on Sollima, if you have ever played any of his compositions. I don't know.
Yeah, I have. I've played his compositions, and I've played with him playing as well. So I know him a bit personally. And well, it's no surprise that this kind of huge charisma and the kind of infectious joy of the cello that he brings to his music and to his audiences and his students as well. It's no wonder that he's such an important cello figure in Italy. And I find it really beautiful what he does. It's his own voice, and it's gorgeous to play and gorgeous to listen to. And he's such a natural cellist as well. I really admire him as a cellist.
Yes, I agree with you. One more question. There's a singer who is all the rage in Britain, and she makes pop music, but she is also popular among classical musicians. And I'm talking about Adele. Do you know her? Do you like her?
I don't know her personally. I really like her, yeah. I think she has a fantastic voice, and again, it's this kind of huge charisma that moves mountains in a way. And so I'm also a fan. I completely agree with you. She has a kind of heart and soul to her voice, doesn't she? And she's not had an easy time. Only I think there's been sometimes a lot of pressure on her to keep going, just work. And she had some problems, I think, with her voice, didn't she, at one point? I remember reading about that somewhere. And this makes her very human as well, kind of going through. All of us musicians of all different walks of life, we go through times when it feels easier and times when it's a big struggle, and we sometimes have, whether it's physical problems or a feeling that you don't want to or cannot carry on for some reason, and then you do because you're passionate about it. So I find that really sympathetic as well in her.
One last question. So you played this special cello. It's a Guadagnini, right?
It is. Yeah, exactly. Made in 1777 in Torino, and so it's not a cello I own myself. I'm just very lucky to continue playing it. I hope I still can. Please God, for a long time. And it's a privilege to have an instrument like that in my hands.
What does it feel like when you play an instrument with such an ancient history behind it?
I don't know. I think if there are problems, then the problems are much more to do with me and the way I'm feeling and my body's feeling than with the instrument. Although it's so sensitive that it does also react to me. So if it's a kind of symbiotic relationship, I think. Do I think about the history when I play it? I don't know. I mean, both the cello itself and the music I play is also very relevant to this moment that we are in right now. So I don't so much think about the history of it. I just feel very lucky to be experiencing it right now.
I think you're very lucky because you, as a cellist, you get to touch your instrument, because I'm a pianist, so I never have like this relationship with my instrument.
Yeah, it's not the same.
You literally hug your instrument.
Yeah, and of course we always travel with the same instrument. You guys have to hope that something is good wherever you go to.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't swap with you. I have to say, despite the fact it can be a headache if you can't find the cello you need or you can't afford or whatever, it's still... Yeah, I think being a pianist has its own set of challenges where you just don't know what's coming, no, for each concert.
Yeah, exactly. Well, thank you. This was a really fascinating conversation, and we cannot wait to see you again in Catania.
Me too. I look forward so much, and I have to say I've been really impressed by the work ethic and the general standard of the students here. You guys are doing a lot of things really right here. I've really loved every minute.
Thank you. This makes us so proud again.
Good.
Guys, thanks for watching. See you in the next episode. Bye-bye.
That was really nice.